Don Fisher. That's about what we had. The dream, when I think back on it, a few of us fallen Presbyterians up the street at Tabernacle, was so wishful, so audacious, so improbable, that it might have best been left where it was. It was the dream of there might be somewhere in this neighborhood, this particular neighborhood, a place of safety, of standards, of character, and where young people would meet and learn about a God who loves them. Even more reckless was the choice of this particular place. It was purposeful. I remember carrying around to people we hoped might interest in this project maps dotted to show the location of pathologies in our community. Drug abuse, child abuse, violent crime, dropouts. And the dots would cluster almost into one dark blob right around 23rd Park. And we said to people, if somehow a place of hope could be created in this place, then where would not God's love reach? Our first headmaster, I remember so clearly, saying, with no evidence that this could happen, one day Dodge City, which is what this neighborhood was colloquially known as, one day Dodge City will be God City. What a brave and completely unlikely thing to imagine. But we found that this dream was widely shared. We Presbyterians met a lot of African American Baptists. There were even Methodists like Merlin around. A group of moms, well, would-be moms, we didn't know if there would be a school. A group of would-be moms searched the country and came up with a curriculum conceived by the Lutherans. And then what I found was the most startling to more veteran people than I of such projects of all. My gosh, we partnered with the Catholics. When I told somebody that, I said, our partners in this building is the St. Vincent's Foundation. And my friend said, you kidding? Who are you going to have involved next? The Russians? I suppose it took a faith, a shared faith like that, to draw together the resources we were going to need. And we had no idea what we were getting into. And I could keep you here all day reminiscing about the close calls and the near-death experiences. And somehow, again and again, things worked out. I used to call Fisher St. Nick, because over and over, in the nick of time, you know, that new donor on the day before payroll, the fire that a gang initiate set in the basement of this building within 10 feet of flammable rags and boxes. No reason in the world this building didn't burn to the ground that night, but it burned itself out. No reason in this world why that didn't happen. The day we're putting a few pieces of playground equipment, Fisher puts an arm on somebody for out there. somebody said, what'll it take to finish this? The answer was, well, probably $10,000, so that's going to be a ways off. Not 10 minutes later, a guy walked down the chain link fence, looked through and said, what are you doing? Somebody tells him. He said, that's great. He said, I just got a grant to try to create a recreational space somewhere in this neighborhood. Somebody said, how much money you got? He said, $10,000. Now, you can call that coincidence. You can call that blind luck. I think it's something else. I bet you think. God's hand has been at work in this place from the very beginning. He has done things that we could never have done. Another story that I hope will not be lost here will be the one that I suppose sticks with me the longest. Some fella called in that first year, said, I read in the newspaper, someone's going to save from School 45. And he said, I bought some stained glass windows at an auction 20 years ago. And I was going to fix them up, and I never got around to it. They're still in my basement. If y'all want them, you can have them. Now, at that point, stained glass windows that had been out there at the front entrance was about number 173 on our list of things to do. Somewhere behind fixing the roof and bailing this place together. But it was a while later that we went and got them. Just as he said, rectangular windows, which had been in the building from the 1890s to the 1960s. Every day, children had come to school at School 45 and passed between these windows, which you passed between this morning. And when we laid them out on the floor of this gym, what did they say? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, what a lesson. For 70 years, students at a public grade school came to school every day between these two familiar pieces of scripture, and nobody thought that was odd. Nobody thought that was wrong. Nobody thought that was unconstitutional. So we knew we had to promote that up our list, our to-do list. For once Fisher didn't have to do it, I found somebody with that money. A craftsman put them back together. It was a beautiful day when we put them back in there, where they should always have been as far as some of us are concerned. Now the rest, part of the Great Oak story that I love, I hope you do too, is the building itself, the restoration of this wonderful building, not just physically, but to its purpose of educating children, bringing hope to their lives, giving them a chance to, the opportunity to fulfill the potential God has created in them. And so the real restoration that went on here is not about windows and floors and ceilings, roofs. It's about the restoration of a place of reverence, reverence for education, and reverence for the truth, and reverence for the Creator of us all. I will confess that in those days, I was drawn to this project, this vague idea, this dream, as much by despair as anything else. I saw the word despair in the video. It wasn't just in this neighborhood, it was among so many people who despaired for our young ones and the possibilities that were being limited if they could not find a place to learn and grow and blossom. And in despair, or at least the fear that we would not be able to fix the system of education, at least not in time. I know that what attracted me, and I think this is true of so many of the rest of that group, was the notion of lighting one candle till some glorious day when someone finds an answer to make this kind of education available to every single child, and somehow we have to do that. At least there could be one place in the midst of those black dots that proved that every child, being a child of God, can be great and can and deserves the chance to be. And so, to all those who've worked these 10 years, I just praise you so much. Maybe a candle was lit 10 years ago, but beyond the dreams, at least any I dared to harbor, this is not a candle. The Oaks is a lantern. It's a lighthouse. It is the living witness of what can happen when people of God search for the right way to let God act through them and come together across these little, really meaningless lines and unite as believers who believe in children and who believe in the one who made those children. And I'm quite sure I'm not the only person here who would say that of all the things life has brought, this project is the most important human endeavor I've been privileged to be part of. God bless this day, this place,